They weren't just waging war on nations, they were waging war on history itself. Why were Hitler's top officers obsessively searching for lost relics like the Spear of Destiny and the Holy Grail? Was it madness or a plan to awaken ancient powers? From the icy peaks of Tibet to the dark catacombs beneath Europe, the Nazi regime wasn't just driven by political ambition. It was haunted by a strange and terrifying obsession, the occult. What you're about to hear isn't fiction. It's one of the most bizarre and disturbing chapters of real history. A story where myth and madness collide, and where ancient legends were weaponized in a quest for world domination. Let's dive into the dark world of Nazi occultism and the terrifying quest for forbidden power. In the early 20th century, as Germany reeled from defeat in World War I and the humiliations of the Treaty of Versailles, fringe ideologies began to seep into the public consciousness. Among them was something truly strange, a growing interest in occult mysticism, ancient Aryan myths, and esoteric symbols. One of the most influential groups was the Thule Society, a secretive organization obsessed with the idea that the Aryan race descended from a lost civilization, possibly even Atlantis. Their belief that ancient knowledge and supernatural powers once existed and could be reclaimed. And guess who was deeply influenced by this group? Adolf Hitler. When Hitler joined the German Workers' Party, later to become the Nazi Party, several members of the Thule Society were already involved. They believed in secret symbols, ancient runes, and hidden energies. For them, politics was merely a tool. The real mission, resurrecting a mystical past. As Hitler rose to power, these beliefs weren't abandoned. They were institutionalized. He created a new elite order within the Nazi regime, the Schutzstaffel, or SS, and leading this group was a man even more obsessed with the occult than Hitler himself, Heinrich Himmler. Himmler didn't see himself as a mere bureaucrat or general. He believed he was a reincarnated Germanic king. He designed the SS as a kind of modern-day knightly order, complete with black uniforms, rune symbols, and oaths sworn like medieval warriors. In fact, the SS headquarters at Wewelsburg Castle was redesigned as a sort of occult command center. The layout was inspired by Arthurian legends, and a mysterious, black sun symbol was embedded in the floor of its ritual chamber. But the darkest part, Himmler formed a special SS unit called the Ahnenerbe, which translates to ancestral heritage. Their mission, to research the mythical origins of the Aryan race and uncover powerful relics from ancient times. Let's talk about the Spear of Destiny, perhaps the most infamous of all Nazi relic hunts. The spear, also known as the Holy Lance, is said to be the weapon that pierced the side of Jesus Christ during the crucifixion. Legend claimed that whoever possessed the spear would control the fate of the world. Hitler reportedly first saw the spear in 1912 at the Hofburg Museum in Vienna. He stood before it for hours. Some historians believe he became obsessed, seeing it as a symbol of ultimate power. Years later, when Hitler annexed Austria in 1938, the first thing he did, even before political restructuring, was have the Spear of Destiny seized and brought to Germany. Was it superstition, or did he truly believe this relic would help him win the war? But that wasn't all. The Nazis were also rumored to be searching for the Holy Grail, the legendary chalice used by Christ at the Last Supper. According to medieval myth, the Grail granted divine insight and even immortality. Under Himmler's direction, Nazi archaeologists combed through southern France, particularly the Languedoc region, hunting clues about the Cathars, a heretical sect believed to possess knowledge of the Grail's whereabouts. It was a real-life Indiana Jones adventure, except the villains weren't fictional. Even stranger was the Nazi obsession with Tibet. In 1938, the Ahnenerbe sent an expedition to the Himalayas to find what they believed was the origin of the Aryan race. The Nazis believed the Earth once had a lost continent called Hyperborea, home to a superior race, and that remnants of it might still exist in Tibet. SS officers in that expedition measured skulls, interviewed monks, and even conducted bizarre experiments. Why? Because they believed the past held the key to the future, and that ancient civilizations had accessed powers modern science couldn't comprehend. Some even believed in hollow earth theories, claiming there were inner realms under the surface of the planet, with secret entrances at the poles and in the Himalayas. It all sounds insane, but to the Nazi leadership it was deadly serious. The Nazi fascination with ancient symbols also led to the adoption of the swastika, an ancient Hindu and Buddhist symbol representing good fortune and eternity. They twisted it into their own racial ideology. And then there were the runic symbols, like the twin lightning bolt SS symbol based on ancient Norse runes. These weren't just designs, they were magical sigils, believed to harness cosmic power. Himmler even wanted to replace Christian traditions in Germany with a new Nazi religion, built on pagan myths and Germanic rituals. He held ceremonies on solstices, handed out marriage runes instead of rings, and taught SS members to worship their ancestors. But did any of this actually work? Let's be clear, the Nazis didn't find the Holy Grail. They didn't unlock ancient energy sources or summon dark gods. But their obsession shaped real policy. They poured millions into expeditions, rituals, and occult experiments, and it blinded them to reality. In 1945, as Allied forces bombed Berlin and the Nazi Empire collapsed, Hitler retreated to his bunker, reportedly still believing in prophecy and destiny, and the Spear of Destiny. It was captured by American forces just minutes after Hitler's suicide. Coincidence, or the end of a very dark myth? So what does this all mean? Nazi occultism wasn't just bizarre fantasy. It was a dangerous fusion of myth, ideology, and power, one that turned ancient symbols into instruments of war. In the end, it didn't bring them power. It brought destruction. But it left behind a haunting question. What happens when belief in ancient power outweighs belief in humanity? This was the shadowy heart of Nazi ideology, and one of history's strangest, darkest chapters. If you found this story as shocking and fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. More ancient secrets and forgotten truths are coming every week, only on Ancient Light.